Is a disastrous performance always a bad thing? I want to show you a clip from a news report where a famous host, who, for us, is essentially someone in the role of a public speaker, made a very serious mistake that almost led to a political scandal. Attention to the screen. Let's watch this video, and then we'll discuss what happened to the main character, and whether this failure really affected everything that happened to him afterward. Let's watch.
It was already the very end of the competition, and Miss Colombia was receiving congratulations. She had just been crowned Miss Universe 2015. Here she is blowing kisses to the audience, still unaware of the blow that fate has in store for her.
Friends, I have to apologize here.
The viewers probably thought that another joke was coming up. After all, the host of the contest, Steve Harvey, is a well-known comedian in America. But he was in no mood for jokes.
Colombia took second place.
Pia Wurtzbach, Miss Philippines, who had just been announced as the runner-up a few minutes ago, clearly doesn't understand what's going on.
Miss Universe 2015 is the Philippines.
For the first time in the history of the contest, the host mixed up the prize placements, and right before the shocked audience, the crown was taken off Miss Colombia and placed on Miss Philippines' head.
Believe me, that's exactly how it's written on the card. I take full responsibility. It was my mistake. It's all written here. I can show you. Colombia is in second place.
The host explained that his eyesight let him down, saying the font on the card was too small, so he couldn't make out who the queen was. But the outrage of the viewers, who for the first time this year had the chance to vote for their favorite contestants online, knew no bounds.
You had one job, just one, to read the result correctly.
Steve Harvey should host the Oscars. Maybe then DiCaprio will finally get his statue. People from Colombia wrote, "Steve Harvey, never come to our country." The comedian tried to apologize again, also on Twitter, but he misspelled the names of the countries, Philippines and Colombia, which earned him another round of criticism. Even the winner caught some flack from people. She was called Miss I'll Steal Your Crown, even though she was clearly just as shocked by what happened as everyone else.
Would you want to be in the same situation as Steve Harvey? I suspect not. You could see how uncomfortable and awkward he felt. He really did get a bit anxious during that whole situation. Plus, he even made a mistake on Twitter afterwards. Basically, he messed up everywhere. And as you can imagine, situations like this can ruin a person's entire career, but only if they themselves give up at that moment. If he had said, "That's it, performing isn't for me, this is so embarrassing, how can I ever face people again after such a failure?" then of course his career would have ended, and he probably wouldn't have performed anywhere else. But Steve Harvey is someone who understands that we all make mistakes. None of us are perfect. And it's also important to understand that he didn't just become the host of such a big event by accident. He was probably chosen for that role because of his past achievements, because he's a bright, charismatic, and professional host. And one mistake doesn't erase all our previous accomplishments. We can all make mistakes, but what's important is to accept them properly and learn from them. In later reports, when he was invited to various shows, he often played off that situation with humor, saying, "Just don't let me read anything, or you know what might happen." People laughed, saw that he took it lightly himself, and as his biography shows, he never made similar mistakes again. Most likely, it's because he became a bit more attentive at certain moments, stopped making such mistakes during his appearances. Maybe he made some other ones, but his career went on. Moreover, this whole situation brought a lot of interest to his social media, his stand-up shows, and his books, which he also wrote and, by the way, are published in Russia as well. As a result, his books are bestsellers. A bigger, more influential channel in America bought his show, and he himself is now in the status of a superstar, a very bright, famous, and charismatic figure. This case shows that sometimes a mistake is not a failure. It can actually be a starting point for some amazing changes that might happen to us. But it's important that we support these changes, rather than giving up on ourselves. Think about that. Remember the mistakes in your life that later led to something interesting. And I even have a point here that I wrote down for myself. In our office, we have a sign with the phrase, "Do what you must, and let things be as they will." Before a presentation, I often repeat it to myself, "Do what you must," and let things be as they will. You never know how your presentation will go. It will go however it goes. Everything might go wrong. But what's important in that moment is to keep doing what you have to do, even when a mistake has already happened. And this video shows us, you never know where your failure might lead you. Maybe one mistake during a public speech is actually the best thing that could be happening to you right now. The main thing is to take it the right way, reflect on it, and keep moving forward. Just like Steve Harvey.